Living Green.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your Fusion Radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
The program presented are submitted by members of our community and are a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM. The views expressed do not necessarily reflect those of KNLY 91.1 FM and its affiliates.
Today with Cachet and Jason and Alex Futch is in the house. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
So today is Friday. It's all about happy, talking about relationships. So we're excited. I'm excited. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
We've been pumped about this for the last few weeks. We've been saying.
A little nervous, too.
A little nervous because you don't know what's going to come out. But I'm so excited to have Alex as the first guest to kick it off because not only is he talking about relationship, but he's talking about it in a form where it is so amazing art, and I cannot wait to get into it. Just this piece in particular, I remember seeing, and a lot of you out there may or may not know that I had an affiliation with Glade Arts Foundation with art and fashion and being involved with them. And I remember one of the first times I walked in seeing that piece, and I didn't know who the guy was or who the gal was or who was behind it. I just said it is so beautiful. So welcome this morning, Alex.
Thank you for having me, Cachet and Jason, very much.
Quite welcome.
So tell, how did it all begin? I mean, this piece is one, I know, but just tell everybody a little bit about you. Right. Yeah, where did it all start?
Well, I mean, I've been doing, I jokingly say I've been doing art since I was a little kid. You know, I used to draw and paint and make stuff with mud.
Yeah. And, mud pies?
Yeah, just anything.
Did you do mud pies?
I did mud pies, mud sculptures. But it's always been something that I've been drawn to. And I think it's one of the most natural self-expressions that we have as human beings, period. You know, I think we're all creative. Some people say they can only draw stick figures. I'm like, well, then draw stick figures. Yeah. So, I studied art. I went to school for it, went into advertising, and my background's actually in marketing and advertising. And but I always felt like the inner artist was kind of like trapped, if you will, like I wasn't getting to express myself the way I wanted to. So 3 or 4 years ago, kind of had a life-changing series of relationship things that were going on. And I found myself like trying to find a way to channel like what was here in my heart, and to protect it, this is what I want. And I just started cutting glass.
Wow.
So it's funny because you find things that there's so many ways to express yourself when you're going through something hard in a relationship, and most of them are not good. Yeah. And to find an outlet that you channel it into this positive energy and put this thing out into the world for yourself, and for it to be so well received has to be a very kind of empowering feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's I think when there's an inherent human truth in what you're doing, and when this piece is all about love. I mean, the title itself is "Let There Be Love." I think when you have a message that just speaks to people, you can't help but have the effect that it's been having. So everybody wants more love right now in this world. Good God, we need more of it. So. Yeah.
So that began. And so would you say that as you were going through whatever it was throughout your relationship transformation, little by little, did some specific piece speak more to you? Tell us a little bit about how that was formed and the labor of love behind it.
Well, there's a couple really great lessons that came from this piece. First and foremost, having my boys watch me work on this and me figuring stuff out.
Can you put a picture of his sons up there, please?
Yeah, not knowing they're there. Yay!
Yeah.
That's Grant, Aiden, and Jude. Those are my inspiration for sure. But working on the piece, love was the message, right? So there's relationship stories now. We could probably spend 2 hours honestly going through this piece and talk about relationships.
Of course.
But there's two different aspects of this piece. There's two different hearts that are represented. If you look, I know everybody can't see.
Oh, yeah, please stand
But
up.
there's like a, I'm gonna hold this up. So you'll see here. Okay. So you'll see here. There's this full heart
Right.
here. There's also hearts represented in leaves right here. So this is actually a heart as well.
Okay.
And when you look at those, they're two different interpretations. And these hearts here, there's just hundreds of pieces here, crafted, cut beautifully. It looks really pretty.
Right.
But each one of those represents kind of like an expectation or a rule that we place on relationships. Right? On this day, you got to do this. When I say this, you got to say that. When
So it's
I
almost
tell
like
you this.
pieces of the heart.
Yeah, it's pieces.
Okay.
But it's rules. It's kind of like what human beings make of love. Versus this heart here, which is kind of the centerpiece of the whole piece. When you have one person that comes into the equation who's like, has love for themselves,
Okay.
loves their life, love what they're doing, is lit up by all these kinds of possibilities, and then they meet somebody else who's also has love for themselves,
Okay.
lit up by their life, lit up by possibilities, and they come together.
It's two whole pieces.
Two whole pieces coming
Got
together.
it. Got it.
It's magic.
Got it.
Yeah, the detail on this, once you get closer to it, is amazing. I know it's hard to see on the camera, but
Yeah.
some of the detail and just like the beading and whatnot is very intricate. It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a lot of really cool stories in
So
here.
that kicked it off. And
Yeah.
then, as you said, you went through that, you made the piece. It was in Glade's opening.
It was in Glade. Yeah, Glade Arts Foundation. The grand opening. As a matter of fact, that was part of the inspiration for completing it, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. So I kept
No.
chipping stuff
No
out.
way.
I kept chipping stuff out and redoing it. You want to take it out?
Yeah.
Or put it down?
Oh, yes, please,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So we can go back to Mike.
Right. And so, would you say that after completing the piece, you felt like you have completed that part of your life? Or is there still aspects that you're still working through?
I think you're always, I don't think we're ever completely complete with love and relationships, right?
Sure.
Now is a new chapter, like that
Okay,
chapter.
that closed a chapter.
That
Okay.
closed a chapter, and now it's time to create something new. And I'm working on a new piece that is
Okay.
again centered around love and relationships.
Yeah.
It has two swans coming together,
Oh, wow.
and they have a heart rested just underneath their necks. And I was really moved by when swans choose a partner,
Okay.
they choose a partner for life. Doesn't matter how far they drift,
Really?
at the end of the day, they always come back together. So that's the centerpiece of the next.
Interesting. Well, let's go to a quick commercial. When we come back, you've got some other amazing things. And I know you just took this and turned it into a whole new big shop of all types of things. So I want to talk about that when we get back. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
We are broadcasting live from the Woodlands, Texas to the world. You're listening to the only multimedia FM station in Houston, Texas. Your fusion radio. Top 40s, dance, Latin, country, pop, rock and roll. All in one station. Mixing genres and generations. You're listening to KNLY, New Waverly, Texas. 91.1 FM, The Boss.
Parents agree that Stepping Stones Preparatory Academy, conveniently located right here in the Woodlands, Texas, is great summertime fun for your kids. The children have a combo-themed calendar full of exciting activities and education. Our amazing Race Summer Camp allows your child to pick their very own adventure. We have off-campus and in-house field trips, swimming, and hands-on projects. During their time at camp, they will develop real-life skills, real friendships, and have real fun. Hurry, registration is still open for ages 5 through 12. Camp ends on August 13th. Check out our website at www.steppingstonesprep.com/camps for more info.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It's time to be super again. It's beach season. Killer abs.
There's a special place in the Woodlands where you can feel comfortable opening your business. We are located at 10210 Grogan's Mill Road. Our building has a unique Vedic architectural design with landscape grounds and lakeside views, on-site management, and maintenance. We also provide free Wi-Fi and the opportunity to promote your business on 91.1 FM The Boss. This wonderful location is near the Woodlands Mall, Market Street, and just minutes from Bush Intercontinental Airport. 10210 Grogan's Mill Road, the only social media building in the Woodlands. Don't delay. Schedule a tour today by calling 713-777-7368.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
For fresh flowers fast, call Barb's Iris Floral at 281-820-2294 with excellent customer service since 1983 for weddings, funeral services, sweet 15s, corporate events, and all occasions. For that special someone you love, barbsirisfloral.com and barbsirisfloralboutique.com. Come on in and pick out of our prestigious gallery at 727 Westmont Houston Road, Houston, Texas 77038. Text 832-466-8414. Barb's Iris Floral delivers fresh flowers fast.
This message was from a proud sponsor to KNLY 91.1 FM.
Welcome back. It's Today with Cachet, Jason, and we have our guest today. And, oh man,
Mr. Bunch himself.
Mr. Bunch, Alex. All right, so we've been talking a lot about your piece and kind of how it came out in just kind of a feeling. As you go to create your next piece, is there something in particular you're trying to draw from in personal experience, or is it something maybe more abstract that you're just waiting for it to hit you?
That's a great question. I mean, really, it's more about like the ideal. I don't think, it's about love. Again, this piece is actually, the working title is called Forever.
Okay.
And, from my point of view, this isn't the truth, but like from my point of view, I don't think relationships are supposed to be hard. I think they're supposed to be
effortless, is what I say. Organic and effortless.
So,
be.
yeah.
If it's not, then it's not right.
And that's kind of what's cool about being in this next, phase of whatever, is that's, what I'm looking for. And that's what I want to portray in this next piece. And in this next piece, there are two swans that are coming together. I spent a lot of time working in Switzerland, and swans are everywhere, like pigeons here. There's swans.
Studying them.
Yeah, and just realizing that they choose each other for life was such a great thing to try to capture.
Yeah.
I love it. So as you go forward in relationships, is it something you notice that you're paying more attention to, maybe the feeling and actually trying to extract from those experiences as you go day to day and thinking about how can I apply this in my art later?
For sure. I mean, absolutely. I think that, simply put, as we were talking about earlier, looking for something that's not complicated, something that doesn't have a bunch, no expectations, no rules, no tit for tat, no scorekeeping. It's really just about effortless and organic, love, and when two people come together and each person has love for themselves first, I think that's one of the things I've learned the most. You have to have love for yourself. The person you're with has to have love for themselves. And when you come together and you share all the awesomeness of your lives together, it's just magic.
Oh man, absolutely. I know with my wife, we've always talked about being able to make yourself happy is paramount, because if you're trying to always make the other person happy, you're going to fail miserably. But if you can stand on your own and really do something that makes you fulfilled and happy. The other person feeds off that, and you try your best to set them up for that, but you don't actually try and apply that.
You can't.
to them.
Yeah, I think what you're saying is when you have your own house clean and internally you've got yourself healed, you'll attract the right person. And when you'll start to, realize this is right for me, you won't accept what's not, and you'll embrace what's supposed to be. And those two will come together. The people, those like the swans, they will come together. And to your point, it'll be effortless. Yeah. And I love that. I mean, and I think, have you? And this is just a deeper question. Have you found that you're on your journey to? Have you been dating again? Or are you looking? Are you exploring that swan? Have you seen other aspects of people that maybe reflect what you have inside thus far? Or you're not there yet?
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but I have, I've, just by the nature of being single.
So you feel equipped now.
Yeah, I do.
Yes,
and you start to meet people
yes.
and you start to ask those questions for sure. And I've met a lot of really great people.
Sure.
But, in honoring the, I was married for 22 years. It's a long time.
Okay.
So it's not something that I think you just kind of like
walk out and go, okay, I'm done now. I want to go find. Oh, yeah.
But ironically,
Yes.
that's kind of the first questions that are asked of me. Even like when it was kind of in the middle of it, like, oh, don't worry, you'll meet somebody. I'm like, what?
Slow down.
I'm sorry,
slow
that's
down.
not really,
Yeah.
And I've got my 3 boys and a very busy life. So it's when somebody comes along, and they've got a light about them and they want to share mine, then.
Speaking of the lights, pull up his the photo. I always, of course, Facebook is like our friend, right? We see everything. That's not that one, actually, the one with the lights. You always, on your Facebook feeds, I noticed, do a lot of different pictures that you take when you're out through the woodlands walking around and you capture a moment. And these were just 4 that I picked, and you can either talk about them, but is that also something about you as an individual that you feel something, you connect to something when you're doing that?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
excuse me.
It's okay, yeah.
Get choked up a little bit. I kind of feel like heaven is always vying for our attention.
Yes, it is.
Always. And so I step outside the door and I just look and it's there. So if I go on a run, a lot of these pictures that I post, I'll be on a run and I'll just be struck by something, and it could be nature too. It might be an animal, a turtle or something. But I think we're all drawn to light. But I do really feel like it's just heaven's way of saying I got you.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
How are
hello.
you doing? Yeah.
And so.
Yeah, there's a certain focus when you're out running that kind of pulls you back.
Oh,
and
yes.
so when something does catch your attention, it's much more striking.
Yeah.
Just because you're not focused on all these different things, you're kind of really centered on
Present.
yourself. Very present, exactly. So I think that finding that in just your surroundings, there's a certain piece to that helps you kind of really feel like you're a part of the world and being in nature and running and things like that. I think a lot of people miss that, being so glued to their phones or their iPads or whatever it may be. Just getting out and finding that outdoors is such a fulfilling thing.
100% agree with you. Yeah, and I think it's an inspiration. It's a lot of the stuff that the artwork, the stuff that we're talking about. Having those kind of therapeutic moments of even running and being present to beauty and nature.
And do you also, I am a strong believer that everything happens for a reason. And you look at this piece, you look at, I want to talk into some of this amazing collection here. Would this have happened had you not gone through that tornado, so to speak, or that struggle? Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
And it brought you to this point. Now, would you necessarily have asked for it to have been that? Well, no. But there's a reason why we go through that. And that light that you always are seeing was showing you that there was another direction. And now you're here.
Yeah.
So what do you have to say to that?
Well, I think that's a brilliant question. When you think about songwriters,
God, yes.
they go through life and then they put it down in
They
words
tell
and
you.
put it into harmony.
Yeah.
This is my song. It's just in a different medium, if you will. And it was, and I feel it as I'm even just talking about it. It's like my heart was, creating a space of peace and protection and love so that wouldn't be affected. It's almost kind of like a bunker, if you will, like you mentioned, tornado.
Yeah.
This, you know, in a sense, would it have happened had I not gone through some of the stuff that I went through?
knows?
Maybe, but this song came out of it, so I respect the journey, you know, and I think when I look at those pictures of the nature shots, every one of them filled with gratitude. I have gratitude for all the crazy stuff that I've gone through in my life.
I say I wear all my stripes with pride.
Yeah, you have to, because it does take you to different places. And so where we're at now, you know, with the artwork and all, you know, the stuff that's kind of born out of it, like I'm
Well,
grateful.
speaking of that, I mean, okay, so you say you build this piece, everybody gets all crazy excited about it. They're like, build me one, build me one, build me one. And then what happens? Look at this. Start talking to me about what happens here. Can you put up, Ivan, the pop-up shop? How do you go from that to becoming Mr. Entrepreneurial Mogul, art designer, fashionista himself?
Well, is there a fashionista? I'm just kidding. I'll be a fashionista. That's
Okay,
cool.
well, okay, that's me speaking from my...
No, I'm totally cool. I'm just playing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it kind of was born out of friends and family and people at Glade asking if I would make them a mosaic, and just, you know, the time that I put into it. The piece "Let There Be Love" took 2 years and 1,800 hours. So the idea of doing personal projects for people was like,
I don't know if I want to put 2 years
yeah,
in.
it's like it's not going to happen. So
I know it looks like anybody could do this, and,
Yeah,
and
right.
good art
Just some
should
glue and some glass. You're right. Yeah.
should feel that way.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
in truth, the technical detail and time spent.
It's just...
I
it's
actually had one of my family members, an aunt, ask me if I bought a kit.
Oh
was like,
my
"Are you
God!
kidding me?"
Yeah. Oh my God! That was
like-
like the worst question. So let's talk about some of these pieces before we go to commercial.
So not being able to make a mosaic for everybody, I started making stuff that I thought people would really dig, and this was like the first thing I made. These
Cool.
Martin style boots,
How cool!
crazy comfortable, and everybody that I knew wanted a pair. So next
Okay.
thing you know, making these, and one of my next favorite things. And by the way, Miss Cachet, this is
Do I get it? Do I get a
Yes,
gift?
it is.
Oh my God, Jason, are you jealous?
A little bit.
Don't be yet.
A little bit.
But like, this is a silk scarf.
Oh, wow.
It's made
Thank you.
made in London.
Do you have that in banana hammock? 'Cause I would like that.
You know what? I take requests.
Jason, give me my gift.
Here, this
Give me my
is-
gift.
Yeah,
pass this
so there you
over
go.
Let me see.
We can spread
Thank
this
you.
all the way out on this side.
This is nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So but that's been another thing that people just love, because it goes with everything. It's got
Yeah.
every color
Yeah, it does.
in the planet.
Yeah.
And Jason, this is
Okay.
for you.
Awesome.
Oh wow, Jason.
And,
Very
Ivan,
nice.
I don't know if you know
Woo,
about
I
this,
didn't even
but
get.
Ivan,
Okay.
you're getting a gift too.
So can I say something?
Yeah.
You are the first guest that has given Ivan a gift.
Well, there
Love
you
it.
go.
That says a lot about Alex, doesn't it,
Wine
Ivan?
bottles.
Well, I think again, the message is love, so everybody should leave with a little bit of love, right? So, and this is one of my favorite gifts, because everybody, you go to people's houses, you take a bottle of wine.
Yes.
And you're always putting in one of those bags in
or
your
whatever.
drawer, trying to find one.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
When I give
Put it in a
this-
bag?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got some growing up to do. For me,
No, that's me
it's-
trying to be stylish. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Alex. Yeah.
Well, anyway, so there's that. There's all kinds of crazy handbags, which, of course, I had to ask for a lot of help in designing these, because I don't know anything about
Anything about
handbags.
bags? Okay.
But those are amazing too. But then one of my favorite things, and I think you might dig this, Jason.
All right.
So this is, can you see that? So this is a pair of Italian sneakers I designed. The box itself is
Italian.
like this killer box. And when you open it up,
Check
Oh
that
shoot!
out.
Look at Jason. Look at Jason's eyes.
yeah. What's
Oh, yeah.
what's
Oh
that?
come on!
So the
So-
problem with that is I do wear a 14.
Okay, so these are not 14.
Yeah.
We'll have some
Big
special
feet.
orders yours.
But this was a really
Oh,
great.
those are bad. Check
Those
those out,
are
Jason.
Yeah.
beautiful.
So they're the quality of the craftsmanship are insane.
Wow.
Oh, they're very
So let me
light
ask
too.
you real quick too. If someone wants to purchase your items before we go to a commercial, where do they go?
So right now in Market Street,
Oh, still okay.
there's
Good.
So after the pop-up shop that I had 4th of July, I was really honored to have 2 incredible women
Sure.
come up, Jerry Slater and Alicia Bishop, who were opening up
Okay.
Lux Custom Collective.
Ah.
So it's in the old Maggie space right
Oh,
next door
yes,
to
okay.
Sunglass Hut.
Okay.
They came into the pop-up shop, saw all the things that we had, and were like, you know what, this totally aligns with, you know, we've got one-of-a-kind custom jewelry, we've got specialty wine, high-end furnishings, lighting,
perfect.
you know, all kinds of really just beautiful things you don't find everywhere. They have these killer umbrellas. Like if you're ever looking for a.
So when does it's opened? Or?
It just opened, yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's been a week now.
Okay, so everybody this weekend, get out there today, go shop, look at some
Yeah.
of these goods, and you'll be in there sometimes, I'm
I
sure.
will be there doing artist events as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, did we need another commercial, don't we? Well, let's do it. We'll be right back.
Parents agree that Stepping Stones Preparatory Academy, conveniently located right here in the Woodlands, Texas, is great summertime fun for your kids. The children have a combo-themed calendar full of exciting activities and education. Our amazing race summer camp allows your child to pick their very own adventure. We have off-campus and in-house field trips, swimming, and hands-on projects. During their time at camp, they will develop real-life skills, real friendships, and have real fun. Hurry! Registration is still open for ages 5 through 12. Camp ends on August 13th. Check out our website at www.steppingstonesprep.com/camps for more info.
This was a proud sponsor of KNLY 91.1 FM.
It's time to be super again. It's beach season. Killer abs.
Welcome back. It's Today with Cachet. I'm Jason Cachet, and Alex is here joining us, and we're talking about relationships this month. And so we have kind of gotten into a lot of Alex's past a little bit and kind of how it's driven him to create such beautiful artwork. But I kind of want to get into the nitty gritty of what it's like to be, a divorced father and moving into new relationships, because that's important to me, something I've dealt with in my life. And so we saw the picture of your three boys, and they're all good-looking kids. But at what point do you, in the decision-making process, when you start dating again, do you involve them, or do you, ask their opinions on the people you're dating, or is that something that you've even done at all?
Well, that's a $1 million question.
Right?
That's an awesome question.
We got $1 million.
My boys are everything to me.
Yeah.
So, I think we share. I mean, we're very close, and we share a lot of philosophies. So I think they trust me. They know that when I'm ready to get into that space again, they're going to know that I've put a lot of thought into it. That being said, I've had step parents also, and I know what I like and don't like, and so they'll have to be somebody who just steps in and has as much respect for my boys as I do, and vice versa, And so they're I don't know if it's so much input, but I know that when that day comes, given the criteria we've talked about relationships, I know it's going to work.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to take a whole lot.
Based on what you said, the effortless, organic,
Yeah.
swans, all of those factors, and you've prepared yourself for that.
There's a lot of good people out there, but finding the right match can be so difficult.
It's very hard.
And I think you are really in touch with kind of that feeling of what that's supposed to feel like. So it seems like something that when it does happen, you'll have very clear access to that, and you'll know when it's right.
Well, to your point, it sounds like you have gotten so in tune to yourself at this point. You're so in tune to yourself that you know yourself so well that you're not going to, one, compromise, you're not going to be complacent, and you're not going to accept anything other than what is meant for you.
Yeah, I think one thing too I would just add is I'm not really looking.
That's the other thing. Okay. You're not trying to find
it's
it
not
necessarily.
trying to find anything. I'm just being.
Great point.
I'm just enjoying life,
You're floating and letting yourself be.
And then it'll just be there. I just have faith in that.
Okay, so last 30 seconds, tell everybody again the name of the store, where they can find these pieces, order, and all the good stuff. Yeah.
So if you are here local to the Woodlands, Spring, Houston, you can go to Lux Custom Collective in Market Street, which is right next door to Sunglass Hut in the old Maggie space. And if you're not local, you can go to alexbunchshop.com, and we ship worldwide. Everything is just phenomenal quality, and
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my
Nice
God!
space.
Into someone's home. Look at that.
there you go. Yeah.
Woo.
So, you are guaranteed. This is a guarantee. You will feel the love, no matter what piece you have. I promise you
Awesome,
that.
awesome.
Awesome.
And there's more than what you brought here. There's a whole
There's
collection.
a whole collection. Yes.
Well, thank you for coming in
Yeah.
and sharing your
Yeah, thank you,
story.
guys.
It's an amazing story. Thank you. And we'll sign out for today. Everybody say goodbye.
Bye,
We'll
everyone.
see you.
Bye.
Have a great weekend. Is it Friday? Yes.
Friday.
Bye-bye.
Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend. Everybody be safe.
Okay. Bye-bye.